Hi Gemini, welcome to my channel. My name is Kem. So for today's meditative session, I saw clouds, which reminds me of like a dream, right? And I think that kind of is similar to the message that Aries had. So if you have Aries in your chart or connected to an Aries, I would check it out because it had a lot to do with like what you dream, right? And like what your imagination takes you to, and like, you know, something about like it being impossible for them, like pursuing their dreams. And you guys got clouds, so I feel like it's like a dreamlike state, right? So I feel like it's a similar vibe with everybody right now. Like every week it's the same vibe. Everybody has like very similar main like vibes in their reading every single week. And this week is like, I feel like it's dreams, right? And this is a song that I heard, and I haven't heard it in years. It's Stranger from Skrillex, and there's something about it. It's like, there's like the beat of my heart. It just stops when you're near me. But then like this song's so beautiful in the beginning, like, and then it goes on to becoming like really sad, and it's like you're just gonna become a stranger. And then it goes back to being like really beautiful about how like their heart like gets ignited, I guess, with this person, right? And then I guess it's like as the relationship plays out, they realize that this person is like gonna end up leaving, I want to say. So I don't know if that's the real vibe here right now, Gemini. Like, I don't know if you're afraid to. I think it's kind of like similar to Aries. Maybe you know somebody really well, and you know that you know how they act, right? It's like you know how they like, you know that they can like, they have this power over you where like they control like a lot of your heart, right? And then they become a stranger. Like maybe there's like some sort of ghosting going on. Maybe there's some sort of like back and forth. I don't know. Everybody's gonna be different, but I feel like it's like with this dreamlike state though for you, Gemini, I'm not feeling it in a way of like nervous energy. I feel it in a way of like nostalgia, like longing for like a past thing, or longing for like it's like there's a back and forth here, right? And I feel like there's like a longing for like a balance, right? And we talked about that in Taurus, about like status quo and keeping this like equilibrium. So yeah, they're all connected, guys. It's so interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna post the Skrillex song, and I hope you guys like it, and I hope it like resonates with you. But let's pull some cards and see what we're getting, Gemini. So Gemini, beginning this reading, we have, I feel like, a lot of fire energy, right? I feel like we're kind of separating these, like, I feel like this is like one energy, this like these 4 cards, and it's the Hero in reverse, which is like my ego in reverse card, my 6 of Wands in reverse, the Journey in reverse, and the 2 of Wands in reverse, right? I think there's something going on where it's like, it's kind of like the song where there's like a back and forth energy, right? Maybe this is like the back and forth energy in you, right? Like how the song is kind of like how they're talking about like how in love we are with this person, and like how beautiful it is to like be in the energy with this person, and then they're like remembering or like predicting that this person's gonna end up leaving them anyway. So it's kind of like a melancholy like aspect to the song, I want to say. And I feel like that's kind of how this energy is, where it's like a back and forth, because here everything's like upright and we have this brand new beginning, and we have like you with the 3 of Cups kind of like letting the energy be integrated within you, like going with the flow, I want to say. It's like you're going with the flow of this new beginning, like, and I feel like it has a lot to do with your emotions, right? It has a lot to do with your emotions and not so much to do with like thinking. It's like basically you're like trying to kind of let this new beginning be exactly what you wanted it to be, where it's like following spirit, like following your intuition, letting like go with the flow, right? But then there's just like aspect over here that I think it's like pulling you towards the other direction, right? In this song, there's a back and forth, and I feel like it's towards like something really beautiful, and then something towards like the, like, I want to say kind of sad, like aspect, like where they're saying like this person's going to end up becoming a stranger to me. But here, I don't even see this, like, let's say this is back and forth, right? I don't even see this side being negative, right? Even though we have a lot of reversals, we have a lot of reversals to cards that I don't really like. So like we have the reversal of the Hero, right? Which is like the death to the ego, right? So I like this card, right? Being in reverse. And here we have the Two of Wands, which I see is like someone's kind of blocking the way, right? And here it's in reverse, right? So I feel like there aren't any blockages, right? Here I feel like sometimes this card can signify rivalry. Sometimes it can signify victory, but sometimes it could be rivalry. And today I was reading it in Aries as rivalry, and if we have that in reverse, it's also a positive card, right? I think this back and forth isn't as negative as you think it is. Like in the song, they're saying like this person will become a stranger to me, and they were kind of making it like this back and forth where it's like positive to negative, I want to say. Here I feel like this side is not negative. Like this side's actually pretty beautiful, right? This is actually like a really beautiful energy, these 4 cards. So it's leading me to believe that I think it's based on your perspective that you're thinking of, like there's something that you're doing that's like making it seem like unstable, or like, you know how like in the song, like it's making it like a polar opposite, whereas it's really not. It's actually something really beautiful. It's actually yeah, it's actually, just because these are all reversed, it's like actually a beautiful energy. And I think it's like, that's what you need to see. There's something that you need to see it in a different perspective. Like you're looking at something in the wrong perspective right now, and you need to look at it differently. That's what I would want to say. Like actually look at it differently. And I think that's the temptation here. I think the temptation is to do things the way you used to do them. The temptation is to do things the way, like, to think in the old patterns, right? To fall back into those comfortable old patterns that we used to do things in. You know, like you learned a lot, right? You're in this new cycle. You're not trying to think too much. You're trying to sit in your emotions, right? I feel like you're sitting in your emotions. You're not, you know, you're learning to kind of shut the, I wouldn't want to say the mind off, right? I know it's the body mind card, but I'm seeing it more as the mind. So you're like shutting the mind off. You're kind of going with the flow, right? And then there's like this energy here, boom. And I feel like you're looking at it in this perspective of like, this is negative, or this is tricky, or this is hard. And I think that's kind of like what they would want you to think it. Like they want you to think it's a tempting energy, right? They want you to like place this card here, right? But actually, this is actually really beautiful energy. It's also saying like, this person recognizes the dark and the light, right? They recognize the duality, right? As we're talking about this like back and forth. And it's funny because it's in reverse. So I feel like that's the tricky behavior here. That's the tricky energy, right? The tricky energy is trying to get you to think that this is actually a dark and a light and a dark, when in reality it's light and light. And there's a lot about that. There's a lot about that this week too, about the dark and the light. It's like this energy is actually beautiful. It's just your perspective on it that's making it hard. Or it could be a hard energy, but it doesn't necessarily have to be negative, or it doesn't necessarily have to be dark, right? But it's like, it's all about your perspective, right? It's all about the way like you think about this. And like the tempting energy is to go back and do it the way we wanted to do it. So the energy is tricky, right? Because it's like, it's kind of like a test to see if you really did learn the lesson. It's like, you know what I mean? Like now throughout this new cycle, we're going to have, we're going to have a lot of things happen to us, like a normal, our daily lives have normal things that happen, like normal things that occur. And it's up to you to change your perspective, right? It's up to you to change the way that you think. It's up to you to change the way that you go about things, right? Because I feel like this is the part where you have to like integrate it and actually apply it. Like this is the part of application, right? Like applying this knowledge. So you start this new beginning and everything's all good. And then you get tested, right? You get like this energy that's a little tricky, it's hard. And it's like, let's go back to doing it the old way. And I think the advice right now is to do things the new way. See things, don't see this as a negative. See things as maybe being better for you, right? Maybe like changing your perspective, right? Just how like these are all positive cards, right? But that's the energy. It's tricky, right? Like they don't want you to see that this is actually a good thing. So I don't know who they are. I don't know why I say it like that, but like this tricky energy, whoever this is, like the temptress. I feel like this is like the universe, or I don't know who it is, right? Like that gives us these like lessons, right? But that's why I feel like they are. It's like tempting us to kind of repeat an old pattern. I don't know who it is. I just feel like that's what this is. It's like you can kind of sabotage yourself, right? Sabotage yourself again. Like let's see you sabotage yourself again. Maybe there's like someone waiting for you to kind of mess it up, and you're like, nah, I'm not gonna do that because I like learned, right? So yeah, this person. Yeah, forget this person. Like this tempting, like the self-sabotage that maybe you used to do. Like, we're not about it anymore, right? We've moved on, we've grown. We're coming from a new perspective. We're changing shit up, and we don't have any space for this. This is actually a positive thing, and it's all based on your perspective. It's all based on the way that you look at it, right, Gemini? So look at something differently. Try to go about something differently. Don't fall back in like the old patterns or the old ways that you used to do things. I feel like you've grown as a person. You're like on another level, and I think you have to kind of expect that from yourself now, right? Expect more for yourself. Expect yourself to do things better, right? And don't be tempted to go like kind of in the old pattern of things, right? Like we're beyond it, right? So let's see what advice we have for you, Gemini. Okay, guys, so you guys have, it's so funny. We have like this really white card, and we have this really dark card, right? And it's like reminding me of the dark and the light, right? The positive, the negative. And then we have the green in the middle, right? Like your heart. And that's like the answer, right? To this. The answer to this is working from a heart, from your heart space, working from love, right? Like these challenges that you're going to be given, or this like tempting energy of continuing to do things the old way, it doesn't resonate with you anymore, right? It doesn't resonate with your heart. So it's like, instead of taking this challenge or whatever you want to call this and looking at it from an aspect of like challenge or like difficulty, look at it like through love, right? Understand it in a loving way. If it's like difficult, understand it. If it's really like beautiful, don't be scared of it. Do you know what I'm saying? There's like a way to approach it, but it all has to do with your heart. So with Panther Spirit, number 44. I like this card. I'm feeling it so heavy right now. Panther Spirit, reclaim your power. I feel like this is what they mean. Like when they say reclaim your power, right? Yeah, it's like now is the time to be brave. Like now is the time to do things differently. Now is the time to take a risk and step into a different aspect of your being. That's literally what it says. Now is the time to take a risk and step into a different aspect of your being. Yeah, I think they're asking you to do things differently. They're asking you, and you see how his eyes are green? I can't. It's just so crazy. It's like they're asking you to do it from a place of love. Like the reason that you'll have a different outcome, like with white buffalo calf woman, the prophetess of the sacred way. My heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. Again, like the path of love, working through the heart space, right? Looking at things through like an aspect of yourself that you haven't before. Like instead of looking at something through ego, and it's like a childish thing, right? Like when we react in ego, it's like, oh, it's based in fear, right? So it's like, oh, I don't want to do this because it's, and I'm like, you're scared. So your body's like, oh, you don't need that. You know what I mean? That's stupid anyway. Like you don't need it. No, it's like you're scared and you don't want to get hurt. So your body's like protecting you from like doing something, right? So that's what this is saying. It's like work through a place of love, right? Reclaim your power, like do things differently, right? Like doing things differently is going to give you a different outcome. If you don't like the way things have been going, or you don't like the way things have been, it's like doing them differently is what's going to change this whole like thing for you, right? Yeah, it's saying like you might have a new identity that it might be strange at first, but that like this, but you have to do this for you, right? For your soul, for your heart, right? Like this is the new you. So step into this power. Like be brave, right? And then with 37, Lion Spirit, be generous of spirit. I just feel like this has a lot to do with the heart chakra, right? And a lot to do with spirit. I feel like I think like this isn't spirit. Like this like energy is not spirit, right? I think it's like confused as spirit, because spirit, you know, sometimes we have to learn a lesson and we go down this path and it's like, oh, is that like a lesson from spirit? But I feel like this is not spirit. This like trying to blur the line between the dark and the light, trying to confuse it, that's not spirit. That could be like our ego, if anything, but it's not spirit. Yeah, if anything, it's like, I feel like this card is saying that like spirit is there to help you. I feel like sometimes we like blame spirit for things. We're like, well, why did this have to happen? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why is this happening to me? Or like, why isn't this working the way it's supposed to work? And it's like we blame spirit. But I feel like if something isn't working out, sometimes it could be for protection. Sometimes it could be not working out because of other people's ego, though. Like, did you ever think like, yeah, maybe this person's not on my level, right? So they're not reaching my vibe. We're not, our vibes aren't matching, right? So we can't, you know what I mean? It's not spirit's fault. It's not my fault. It just is what it is. This person isn't matching my vibe. I feel like there's like a call for like reclaiming your power, and also like to claim spirit's power, right? Like it's like kind of like backing spirit up, right? Backing up this new way of being, right? It's like, don't put the blame on like spirit or yourself. Put the blame on like what it is, right? Which is, I feel like it's ego, right? If we work in fear, or like this could be the ego, right? So that's not spirit. And they're both green, which is like weird to me. But yeah, guys, come from a place of love, and I feel like this will work out. Try to do things differently. Try to like understand things through like someone else's perspective, right? Like try to look at things through someone else's eyes. If things are like getting really difficult, try to understand them. Like I feel like this has to do with somebody else, and like understanding them and like their perspectives, right? And it has a lot to do with ego, and has also a lot to do with ourselves. Like, are we going to take the challenge of like changing, right? It's kind of like, now is the time to put it into action. So like, are you actually ready to do it? Because it's all good to like say we're in this new beginning and to like try to go and like live in our emotions, but it's another thing to like actually apply it. And I feel like this is the first application of this challenge, right? It's the first application of like trying to actually like work things out in a new way. So like, I feel like we can all do it, right, guys? Anyway, I love you, Gemini. I hope this resonates with you, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.